penalty box. So penalty box admin, Shred Her. Penalty box admin, Gypsy Danger. Whiteboard is Lucy. Scoreboard is Gigi. Runner is Baby Bat. And our alternate is Rosie the Ripper.
Thank you so much, Freya. Greatly appreciate it. There you go. You have announced. It has happened. There you go. Freya has announced once. Now we can name our improv show that. Just a minute 15 to go until this bout is ready to go. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get off the horn while they switch the scoreboard up here. Okay, well, that was easy. You're like, walk me through it. It was one click. It's very well struck. Well struck, Gigi. I was going to walk me through it. Click. Done. Easily done. Scoreboard is all set. Under 30 seconds to go. Both of these teams skated once yesterday. Both of them skated against Arizona, so both are looking for their first victory here in the tournament. So somebody's going to get their first win. That's good and exciting. We are ready to go. Your first jammer for Midway Magic is number 1900 Entropy. Your first jammer for Los Angeles is number 524 Sonia Sotomayor. We are quickly underway. Entropy is fighting along the inside. Evenly matched packs so far. Sonia Sotomayor manages to find a lane along the inside and get out for Los Angeles. Los Angeles has first lead jam. So here's Entropy now for Midway. Almost was trying to step over a skater and just couldn't quite get clear. Sonia gets pinned at the back of the pack. Entropy does get out for Midway, so going to keep this to one scoring attempt for Sonia Sotomayor in Los Angeles. Entropy quickly catching up to the pack now on the front straightaway, forces the call off from Sonia Sotomayor. We are setting up for your next jam. That is going to be Ruffy the Roller Slayer for Los Angeles and the Effie Bomber for Midway Magic. Got a penalty rattling in. Looks like we're going to have a timeout. There we go. Official timeout as they were trying to sort out who exactly the penalty was on. I heard we don't have a such and such. So brief timeout as they got that sorted. All right. Give me a brief stoppage in play, an official timeout. They got to check on the scoreboard, so Castro's going to come up here and take a look at that and get that working. Freya, you were in the chat most of the day yesterday. You were watching a whole lot of Derby yesterday. I believe you saw both of these two teams play yesterday. It's okay. That's okay. All right. All right. Discussion directly to my right has concluded. A lot of long time off the air. But we are back on the air. All right, we'll be getting back to the action. So 4-0 Los Angeles after that first jam. 13:45 to go here in the first quarter. Don't forget your raffle tickets. In here in the arena, raffle tickets. 1 for $1. 6 for $5. If you pay a $20 bill, you get 30 tickets. You get 10 tickets free for a $20 bill. We're bringing you a rundown of those raffle prizes momentarily as we get ready to go back to the action. Same jammers as we had before that break in the action. It's going to be the Effie Bomber and Ruffy the Roller Slayer. Ruffy is down along the inside and has quickly found an opening, actually. Ruffy quickly out. Effie Bomber for Midway is fighting at the front of the pack, trying to get past that LA blocker, not able to do so. Your LA jammer is going to get through a scoring pass. That's Ruffy for Los Angeles. Midway trying to get the jammer through the pack. That Midway jammer now up to fight against the 3-wall of LA defenders. And now here comes Ruffy fighting along the inside. Now has got one Midway defender to get past. And stays upright, arms up, keeps the balance, and keeps going. 10 seconds left on the jam clock. This will be a productive jam for Los Angeles. Midway jammer has put the star back on at the back of the pack, but is going to line up here, it looks like, to play jammer defense, but the clock expires before they get there. Looks like we're going to have an LA Power Jam already here in the early going. That's going to be Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles. So penalty on the Midway jammer here in the early going. Alpaca Punch for LA against a rather full pack, it looks like. At least definitely all the Midway blockers. Is that? Yep. All 8 of the blockers are out there. No, now they're not. I heard an arms penalty. So LA loses 1 blocker. And there we go. Bender B. Rodriguez with the whistle. Alpaca Punch with the LA Power Jam. LA already up 14-0 and looking to put some more points on the board here. So gets pushed around. Alpaca Punch trying to find an opening. Good blocking by those defenders for Midway. That's Nikki at the front of the pack holding up Alpaca Punch. Halfway through the Power Jam, and Alpaca Punch still not out for Los Angeles. Trying to find an opening, if at all possible. Instructions getting called out from the back of the pack. Nikki's appears, yeah, it looks like Nikki at the back of the pack. And now Alpaca Punch finishes getting out of the pack, but just barely any time left on the clock. So an excellent defensive effort by Midway Magic on the Power Jam.
I got you.
So it looks like we're going to swing right back the other direction. It's going to be now a Power Jam for Midway. Slaughter right on the jammer line for Midway now to do the Power Jam. Midway also has all 4 of their blockers out there that I can see.
Hello.
Hi, Say-Jay.
I'm back. What's
Say-Jay
up?
has joined me. Freya gave announcing a shot, and it was not their cup of tea.
And you know what? I respect that. I really do.
They definitely tried to overcome their fear of it, and it was a little much. So they did announce the announcers, and then that's in the books. So they have announced.
There you go.
Meanwhile, Midway Power Jam, Slaughter shaking loose, and oh wow, right into the rail. Trying to get out and get clear and get Midway on the board here in this Power Jam. That LA 3-wall at the front of the pack, very strong. Slaughter goes down along with another Midway defender. I hear a multiplayer block penalty rattling in on somebody. That is still, with 12 seconds to go, LA is going to try to turn this into a second straight 0-point Power Jam. Midway just hung a 0-point Power Jam defensively as you were approaching the announcer station.
Yeah, get me caught up.
And now LA is going to hang one as well. We've had 2 straight 0-point Power Jams. No points
Very
for
nicely
either side.
done. Always
Excellent.
impressive. It's always nice to see 2 well-matched teams kind of giving it to each other.
Yeah, so no points for either side. Excellent defense from both teams. That is going to be Ruffy the Roller Slayer for Los Angeles. And Entropy for Midway Magic. Entropy with a whole lot of tattoos coming out of that tank top. Entropy's got a lot of ink.
Ooh. Still no lead jammer. Both of them still stuck in the pack there. Ruffy really fighting against a solid line in the center. Oh, and there we go. Entropy is out. Picks up lead for Midway.
All right, so technically, since they never got out during the Power Jam, this is the first lead for Midway.
There. Oh, very exciting. Still more than 20 seconds left, so plenty of time to put some points up. But LA is ready for that hit.
Do you wouldn't by any chance know how to work the projector on the wall, do you? Or what Sandy knows? Is Sandy here?
Entropy definitely made it past to pick up some points, but then got bumped back to the back of the pack and is now stuck again behind this LA wall. Looks like 4 points for Midway, so Midway is officially on the board.
Yeah, Midway has gotten into the scoring column. Looks like Bucket heading up to the jammer line for Los Angeles. Most definitely. And then down here for Midway Magic is Effie Bomber. Is really in the ready pose. I like it.
Pretty thin pack out there. It looks like I
was gonna say.
Never
there we
mind.
go.
Just some late additions to the track. Nope, a switch out. So it is a thin pack. Looks
Yeah,
like a
thin
3-2 pack advantage for Midway.
Yeah, we will see what the 2 jammers can do here as we're halfway through the first quarter. Here comes Bucket, head of steam around the outside, and is able to get by that pivot for Midway. The pivot kind of seemed to be like kind of flat-footed as Bucket really was moving. Hustling through the corner and lead jam for Los Angeles. Oh, big block clearing the way, 115 for LA. That was Sly Fox. I've said that a couple of times yesterday. Sly Fox and Jane Woe were in there like wrecking balls.
Oh, but Effie Bomber is now out of the pack. Still about half this jam left. So Bucket's going to be looking to decide whether to call it off or to keep running with it.
And their Bucket's going to call it off. So Midway forcing the call off.
That is Entropy taking the jam line for Midway, and Egg for LA.
We have our first egg jam. 4 points for LA, so it is 18-4. Be about 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Well, no, 6:42 to go in the first quarter, in fact.
We got 1 blocker in the box for LA. And Entropy is out, picks up lead.
Yeah,
Egg
quickly to the
also
front.
almost through, but yeah, so that's, I believe, so that would be the second lead for Midway
Yep.
so far. Egg now also out of the pack. A little bit behind, though, definitely giving Entropy a little time to work with to put a point or 2 on the board. We'll see if those hips pass those hips.
Yeah, there's only been the 1 jam by LA early on where we had more than 1 scoring pass. Both teams have been getting their jammers out very consistently here. This is going to be Effie Bomber once again. Midway Magic, a very tight jammer rotation.
Against Ruffy the Roller Slayer. So we got Ruffy and Effie on the jam line. Looks like one in the box for LA.
They're too many black.
Oh.
One down for black.
Oops.
So jumping off the track is Skeeve Jobs. Midway Magic has a one skater advantage in the pack, but the LA jammer gets directly out. There goes Ruffy the Roller Slayer. Effie Bomber is now back towards the front of the pack. Just trying to drive those LA blockers out of play. Fight by on the rail and gets by on the rail. Wow.
Ooh,
Hard
Effie is
work
also
along the
out now,
rail.
though. Oh, my goodness. Ruffy just charging through. That was really nice.
Yeah, Effie Bomber went through the hard way there, just right along the rail and fighting past Jane Woe and other LA blockers along the rail.
All right, we have one of my favorite names of the tournament, All of You Die, on the jam line for Midway.
That's Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles. We've got a few home team skaters skating with Midway here. Olive is one of those. Along with several members of our Doomsday Valkyries, Nikki Badass, Audimus Prime, and Badass
Yes.
Junior.
Olive almost out, then getting bumped by that LA pivot at the last second. Getting back on the track. Oh, but that was enough to give LA the opportunity to break out with that lead jammer.
Alpaca Punch racing by along the outside and taking lead jam. So now we go back to the pack, and there goes Olive out of the pack for Midway. So once again, keeping this to just the one scoring pass for Los Angeles. And they're going to get it. So Midway, if not putting points on the board, they are definitely succeeded in getting their jammer out quickly and keeping it to just one scoring attempt for LA on these LA leads. 26-4 Los Angeles as we get to the late parts of the first quarter.
That is Slaughter and Sly Fox on the jam line. One blocker in the box for Midway.
Seen Sly Fox do, as I mentioned, do a lot of defense. Oh, that is not Sly Fox. That is 55-15 Vanessa Bludgeons, not 115. Very similar numbers.
You know what?
Still a first-time jammer, but that is Vanessa Bludgeons. I was going to say, thought that was a little small to be Sly
Yep.
Fox.
No, listen, reading is tough sometimes.
Yep. That is, however, getting out is Slaughter for Midway, so lead jam for Midway. Vanessa Bludgeons right behind and is gaining quickly. Slaughter has to call it off. Vanessa Bludgeons had the inside track and was gaining fast. So no points for either side. We have a That's Your Jammer, I heard. Somebody's about to lose a jammer. That was Midway's jammer that went to the penalty box. So putting that star on there belatedly in the penalty box. It's going to be an LA Power Jam with 2:43 to go in the first quarter. That is going to be, well, looks like we're going to have a timeout. I see Midway signaling. We'll wait for the official word.
So my understanding is you were saying that there have been not one, but multiple no-point power jams thus far.
There have been two already, yes.
So it'll be interesting to see if we can make it 3.
Yeah, that is what we are facing coming up. Team timeout Midway to talk about strategy going into this power jam. 26-4 LA at the moment. Barbecue truck is set up outside. The pit barbecue is all set.
And it smells good.
It smells wonderful, as always. They have lots of options out there to meet your needs. They are all set to go for halftime and between bouts. Don't forget Raven's Sweet Haven is all set up down inside here. Ravens has all sorts of pies and sweet goods and also savory sausage rolls and hand pies, so check that out for your food goods as well.
All right, that is Ruffy the Roller Slayer going to be skating this Power Jam for LA. Midway has their work cut out for him here. Going to be trying to put another no-point Power Jam on the board. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, Ruffy, I was going to say Ruffy bouncing around. Now there's a two-wall of Midway defenders that Ruffy is trying to push out of play. Just brute force. Gets knocked down. They're still not out of play. They were able to stay in play, those Midway defenders, and now they get an LA defender to try to help as well. Still not out. Under 30 seconds to go in the Power Jam. We're facing more great defense.
There we go. Now forced to let
Finally,
Ruffy go.
Yeah. After a while, Ruffy was able to drive those blockers out of play. So now,
yeah, they got a goat in the back there.
A lot of exhortation from the crowd. Now trying to wall up. Ruffy tries to go right up between Nikki and a couple of other blockers. Ruffy tried to spin around along the inside and got there. All 5 of the points for Ruffy on that scoring pass. 5-point Power Jam. Another good defensive effort, though. Not a 0, but a good defensive effort just the same.
That is Valley Hurl taking the jam line for LA up against Effie for Midway. Looks like we got one in the box for Midway. Perhaps also one of the. It's hard for me to see the other side of the penalty box. I can't really tell.
Yeah, it's a lot of people down there.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But Effie breaks out, picks up lead for Midway, but we got a jammer race on our hands here as Valley Hurl also out. Yeah. That tracks.
Effie calling it off. The hot pursuit, obviously. So under a minute to go in the first quarter. This will probably be the last jam of the first quarter. That is going to be Entropy for Midway. And jamming for the first time, but probably not the last time, Chance the Lapper for Los Angeles.
And off they go. Chance the Lapper trying to find that upper, getting pinned against the rail. Entropy going straight into the center of the pack, just getting right into the fray. A lot of lateral movement from Chance in the back here, but Midway is on it.
It looks like Midway has passed the star forward. That's the pivot taking over as jammer for Midway. Popping that star on is going to be All of You Die and is going to be taken off because here comes Chance the Lapper. This is going to be a race back to the pack. Olive trying to get back there, trying to get in, get some points, tries to get in front of a couple of skaters. Chance was back at the back of the pack, a Midway skater down. Chance got by that Nikki. Let's check on the score from both sides. That's going to do it for the quarter. It is quarter break.
One apiece.
One apiece. One for each side as we head into the quarter break.
And that takes us to, you just said that, but that does take us to the quarter break.
32-5 as we step aside for our first 5-minute break. Visit the food truck, visit Ravens, get down there and check out the raffle and the silent auction. We'll be right back with more of the action of this bout. All right, Derby fans, we'll be getting back to the action here momentarily. Scoreboard's being rebooted to hopefully get it to behave a little better. Still 32-5. 30 seconds to go until the second quarter starts. Don't forget, your next bout coming up is at 3 p.m. Arizona time, 6 p.m. Eastern. That is the LA Derby Dolls Juniors versus the Arizona Derby Dames Minor Assaults. That's
Fantastic
gonna be
name.
a whole lot of fun. And then your nightcap tonight is Tilted Thunder versus these same LA Derby Dolls. LA's got the long day today, as mentioned, and then a lot of teams skate twice tomorrow. All right, we are back to it. This is going to be Ruffy the Roller Slayer for Los Angeles. And that's Badass Jr. for Midway. And then they're both right down along the inside, just one after the other. So
Ooh.
Badass Jr.'s out first.
The pressure's on. I like that. Badass Jr. threw, like, let them know I'm going for one and I'm calling it off.
So 2 for Midway there. Badass Jr. does get those 2 points at the back of the pack. And none on the pursuit. So great call off by Badass Jr.
That is Entropy and Bucket on the jam line. Ooh, big cluster up by the rail. Both jammers testing out the knee pads there. Bucket pulling ahead, breaking out, picking up lead for LA. And the pom-poms go wild.
Entropy looking for an opening. That's Alpaca Punch back there with Los Angeles playing great individual defense. They've handed the star ahead for Midway. Taking over as jammer is number 100, Quiet Riot for Midway.
My goodness.
Fighting through the pack, hard to get out of the pack. So here comes Bucket for LA. One more crack at this. Mid-pack and is going to frantically call it off.
All right, that is Slaughter lining up on the jam line for Midway.
And that's Sonia Sotomayor. Did not skate yesterday for Los Angeles. Out there today for the Derby Dolls. It was an 8-point jam for LA as we get the points up on the board.
Looks like we got a couple folks in the penalty box who are a little light on the track out there. Ooh. Nice hit in the back.
Sonia gets out. LA pom-poms go up once again for Sonia clearing the pack.
Ooh, very nice. Just sort of jogging along that upper rail. Nice and quick. Meanwhile, we have a star pass on Midway to Badass Jr.
And Sonia Sotomayor signals to call it off. Badass Jr. thinks she got points. Let's see what the officials say. But Badass Jr. had fingers triumphantly in the air. And there it is. 1 point for Midway on the pursuit for Badass Jr. Always skate through the whistle, kids. You never know. And now they're talking about the score. This jam is underway.
That is Olive and Alpaca Punch.
We'll get the score up momentarily. That is Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles, who gets out.
Olive stuck at the back, lining up to do a little jammer defense, but that LA wall in the back has really got them held.
38 seconds left in this jam.
Pack getting a little scrappy out there. But Alpaca Punch pulling out. Ooh, along with Olive now also out of the pack. Going to be putting the pressure on to call, and in fact, that is exactly what happens.
We're going to have an official timeout. Here comes Bender. So we'll get everything sorted.
Oop, looks like we got an official
As I understand
timeout.
it, the score is going to be 50-8, 5 points for LA in both of the last 2 jams. But that will be verified here momentarily. All right. Officially verified with the jam ref, 50-8, 5 points for LA in both of the last 2 jams. That is being handed down to the benches now so everybody knows what's going on, and then we'll get back to the action. I'd like to remind you during this timeout, we've got so many vendors here. Don't forget to check out Dead Star Press outside. The bookmobile is out in the corner over there, kind of. If the outside is the food truck, the pit, and the bookmobile is out there. Raya Riot is here in the back straightaway. Tucci's Touch is here giving out chair massages. Come sign up. Tucci's Touch right here outside of turn 3, right next to Raven's Sweet Haven. Lay down and eat a pastry while you get a massage. And then, yeah, because you got that little massage thing where your face sticks out the bottom. You can have somebody feed you a cupcake while you're getting a massage. Yes, exactly.
All right, that is Effie and Valley Hurl jamming. Effie is almost out, and there we go. Midway picks up lead.
Yeah, Midway's
Valley Hurl still stuck in the pack, working through those blockers pretty systematically, but they're going to reform. Nicely done.
And there goes,
Valley Hurl is now out.
Valley Hurl gets out, and at the back of the pack, whistle, and it looks like that is going to do it for the jam. So 3 points at the back for Midway, 50-11. A lot of shuffling around of people.
Oh.
And it's going to be a Midway power jam. That is Entropy at the jammer line for Midway. Yeah, a lot of chaotic action during that jam, and a penalty coming in on the Los Angeles jammer.
Never a dull moment.
So, Entropy, Midway power jam. Rather full pack, completely full pack. No, there's a Midway blocker down.
Entropy getting a little stuck there. On a nice solid 2-wall up in the front. Quiet trying to play a little offense, make a little way, and it works. And Entropy is out of the pack.
Entropy gets out, 36 seconds left on the power jam. So tightly bunched pack right here just at the entrance to turn 3, right now in the apex of turns 3 and 4. Entropy is looking to get by everybody. 18 seconds left on the power jam. Entropy's trying to get clear, not able to get there. Oblivion Westwood with the timely block to stop Entropy from getting out and preventing a second scoring pass, which is exactly what's going to happen. Clock's going to expire. We'll see if Entropy probably got all 5 at this point. I do hear a yellow 5 coming up from the infield, so Entropy did get all 5 of those points. 50-16.
Done.
That is going to be Slaughter for Midway Magic. And that is...
D-Cup runneth over.
Yeah, D-Cup for the first time for Los Angeles on the jammer line. Maybe I should refresh the stream.
D-Cup finding that lower lane nice and open, picks up lead for LA quickly. Slaughter having a little bit of a tougher time with these blockers on turn 1, as D-Cup is already ready to reapproach the pack and start picking up some points. Not even slowing down.
Yeah, D-Cup plowed into Slaughter at the back of the pack there. I believe that was Slaughter. Yeah, they've handed the start of the pivot. The pivot's now trying to get clear, so Slaughter has switched into defense. Slaughter got hit hard. That's Autumn's prime time taking over for Midway Magic. So 19 seconds to go. Prime now is going to size up and try to play jammer defense at the back of the pack.
D-Cup finding that upper rail nice and open, just sliding around, scooting around.
Yep, it's been a couple of jams since LA has put points on the board, but D-Cup is going to put some up here.
For sure.
$14 for Los Angeles. Most of 3 scoring passes for D-Cup running it over and LA on that jam. So 64-16.
But it does look like perhaps, nope, I take it back. I was about to say something that wasn't true.
It's Entropy for Midway, kind of tiptoed along behind the pack. Great blocking by Midway off the jump. Midway has a blocker advantage too, so that also helps. Alpaca Punch is trying to get clear at the front of the pack. Quiet Riot and Nikki Badass are up there to play defense, and they are not letting Alpaca Punch out just yet. So here comes Entropy.
Woof. Serious lateral action in the back there. They really do not want to give Entropy a single sliver of daylight.
Those 2 LA defenders are really making hay back there. Hannah Barbarian and Sly Fox.
Goodness.
Really doing the work and forcing the call off by Entropy.
That is Badass Jr. jamming for Midway. And that's Vanessa Bludgeons jamming for LA. Although it looks like we might need a little.
All right, it was 3 points for Midway. There we are. Up on the board, and now the jam can commence.
And off we go. Woo!
Blocker
My
down
goodness.
early for Midway, yeah. A lot of hard hitting going on out there. A lot of just jockeying for position. And we've got both jammers out.
We got a jammer
Bludgeons
race.
out first. Badass Jr. right behind. They are both going to barrel back to the pack. Here comes Vanessa Bludgeons trying to get that point at the back and signals to call it off.
Oh, baby. All right, that's Entropy and Chance the Lapper getting on the jam line, ready to go.
We got no points
No
for either
points
side.
on
Yeah,
that
no
last
points. All right. A lot of hard-fought action going here. The score does not really describe how close this bout has been fought. It would look like on first glance that this has not been that close. It has been very tightly contested.
Yeah.
Obviously, Midway also has, they're holding LA. LA is still sitting under 70 points as we're just about 4 minutes to go till halftime. So Midway is playing solid defense themselves as well and getting jammers out with greater frequency.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there goes Entropy for Midway. Entropy is really, I think, jammed every other jam for Midway and is getting out frequently, honestly.
The opposite of Entropy, momentum.
Right? So now Entropy is going to try to weave through the pack. Chance the Lapper is back there for LA and has not had any success cracking that Midway defense yet. Entropy finishes the scoring pass.
Nicely done. The jam clock is not running.
Yeah, he's got it down there. Now here comes Entropy up to the pack.
Chance the Lapper turning around to play some defense, looks like.
Yep, timing from the infield, and there we go. That is going to do it for the 60 seconds.
And we got an official timeout.
Yep. We're going to have, I'm certain somebody's going to come over and discuss something with the scoreboard.
I was going to say, I'm going to guess it's scoreboard related.
All right, 7 points for Midway Magic.
The scoreboard is behaving badly. The clock on the scoreboard doesn't want to work. So the scoreboard, we're able to manually update the score, but the time is going to be stuck. So
All right, we have changed gear. One of our keyboards is malfunctioning, so Bender hand timed that one from the infield. We've got the clock set. Jam minus break, 3:03 to go. 64-26, LA is in front. We just tested the other keyboard. I watched it work with my own eyes. By golly, I hope it works.
but for how long?
Yeah, well, yes, but for how long? But at what cost?
Yeah.
Effie Bomber for Midway Magic. And crouched way low. That's Bucket for LA.
And off they go. Both headed for that upper rail, and Effie finds it first.
Yeah,
pulls
Effie's out.
ahead, picks up lead nice and early.
Midway building a lot of momentum heading into the half. I'll tell you what, Bucket gets out as well, but Midway's going to get a crack at points here once again.
For sure.
And then Effie is going to get down to the inside, getting blocked off, frantically calling it off, getting one off the
Nicely
track
done.
by Hannah Barbarian. Got all four.
Yes,
wow,
4
got
points
all
for
four
Midway
on
there.
that pass. Excellent angling down, great jammer awareness. There'll be about 2 minutes to go when this jam starts. That's going to be Olive for Midway. And Egg for Los Angeles is who that is. That was 4 for Midway, 64-30.
Egg juking in the bottom, finding a nice opening, taking it before the pack even hits turn one. Olive getting pinned to the top rail by that LA blocker in the back there as Egg is already ready to start picking up points. Not even 20 seconds of elapsed yet so far.
Wow, Egg stayed upright along the inside. Big spin. I saw those pigtails up in the air. Olive is going to be hot on the pursuit here. They look like speed skaters going down through the corner. Egg tries to go in and get points anyway. We'll have to see. Egg tried to time it and not give Olive any points. I heard yellow. Let's see. Yep, Olive got 2 points in the pursuit for Midway. 2 for all of you die, and we'll wait for the black.
Ooh.
6 points for LA, so they did get that extra point there crashing in at the end, and then Midway Olive gets 2 points back on the pursuit, so a net gain of 4 for LA, so, you know, net gain of 4, your standard Bank Track Roller Derby jam. 1:14 to go until halftime.
That is Badass Jr. and Ruffy on the jam line. Oof. Ruffy taking a hard hit, giving Badass Jr. an opportunity to slide around. My goodness.
Yeah, wow, able to get out. The LA defense trying to recycle, and then here comes, look out. My goodness, here comes Ruffy, all recovered and ready to go. Badass Jr. is going to try to get back to the pack. Here we go again, another wildly entertaining jam in this bout. Here comes Badass Jr. back to the pack as they pour into the back straightaway. Midway is together at the back, and Badass Jr. knows that she can't get to those 2 LA defenders at the front of the pack and calls it off. hear penalties filtering in, but I didn't hear the words, "That's your jammer," so yet. No, nothing yet. Okay. Last jam of the first half. This has been an incredibly entertaining first half, hasn't it? 70-32 Los Angeles. It's going to be Valley Hurl for LA and Entropy for Midway.
Entropy up in the front, but up against a nice solid wall there. Valley Hurl fighting against a pretty similar situation in the back. Just a whole mess of a pack.
Yeah, really big cluster of everything right now.
Yeah. Ooh, LA almost through, and there you go.
Nikki went to block and was out of play. Tried to get the hands up. So now LA coming around, trying to put some points on the board to head into the half here. "11 seconds left on the jam clock, and Valley Hurl finishes a full scoring pass.
We got a star pass to Quiet for Midway.
Quiet does get out. So Valley Hurl was hustling back to the pack, but runs out of time. Let's check on the score from the infield before we take you to the half. We had all sorts of things. We had a change of scoreboard equipment on the fly. Little zest of everything in this first half. We had an announcer change.
Yes.
We had, oh my goodness.
It's just a whole bunch of activity going on here. Yeah, we're going to wait and see what these points are.
Yeah, I believe that was a 4. We will wait for that official word. There it is, black 4. 4 points for LA, 74-32 as we head into the half. We'll be back in 15 minutes with more excellent Derby action. Looks like we've got 90 seconds to go until the end of the halftime break. Let's give away a prize. Get those raffle tickets ready. This is the Siphon Draw Apothecary organic skincare bag. We don't have the prize up here, so if you're the winner, go down to the raffle table. That varies from prize to prize. All right, raffle tickets ready. Your Siphon Draw winner is 430-629. 430-629 is the winner of the Siphon Draw Apothecary gift bag. If that is you, kind of wave or something so we know that you won it, but then head down to the raffle table to get your prize.
Right
we got a winner?
Oh, well, I see somebody
430-629?
waving over here.
Over here on the side.
On the side.
On this side, you're
Yes.
the winner? Excellent. All right, you're going to head over to raffle to get your prize. We actually don't have that one up here. Fantastic. Is that Crystal Ball Buster? I can't see because of the sun. Yeah, it's Crystal Ball Buster. Congratulations. You won the Siphon Draw organic skincare bag. Dramatically backlit. I was like, back with us. If you're just joining us here in this bout, if you weren't with us for the first half, wildly entertaining.
Yes.
74-32, Midway Magic has been hacking into that lead. LA had built a big lead. Midway Magic had been chipping away at it. However, LA is going to start with a power jam. Oblivion Westwood on the jammer line for LA to do the power jam, and you go Viv from the stands, as one would expect.
All right, headed right into the thick of it over there. And, almost through, then kind of getting thrown over the back, recovering nicely, and pulling out of the pack.
We got quite the LA cheering section in the audience right now, don't we? This is
Yes.
LA's long day, right? They're going to be here a while.
Yeah, we got LA in the crowd, and then San Diego is heckling me via text message, which I really appreciate.
Fantastic, good. There goes Viv.
Still 25 seconds left to work with, plenty of time.
Yeah, Los Angeles would really, really love to put as many points on the board here as possible and try to stifle that burgeoning Midway rally that had been building late in the second quarter. Would be very emphatic to put a bunch of points on the board here. Viv finishing a scoring pass, but that's going to do it for the clock. And Viv was signaling to call it off anyway as the clock expired. So we'll check from the infield. That's
10 points.
Big points, yes. 10 big points for Los Angeles. That's huge in this back and forth battle. That's a big leap of points for LA. Those points in the scope of double digits have not come often so far in this bout.
Yes, yeah.
Like you said, the San Diego people are heckling you via text message or staying out of the Twitch chat, though. It's
Yes.
Like, the Twitch chat is
Yes.
literally just nobody in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I got to say, I prefer them on the track when I'm announcing. All right, that is Sonia and Slaughter on the jam line. 2 in the box for LA, so it's a little thin out there. But that does not stop Sonia from picking up lead. However, looks like Slaughter also out of the pack. As Sonia's starting to pick up points over there. Just really, really thin on the track, though.
The star was passed to prime time.
Was it?
Did prime time?
Did I say something wrong?
No?
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, Primetime took over as the jammer for Midway. And now there goes Primetime to the... I was going to say Primetime wasn't the pivot. Ergo, I was thinking there might be a penalty involved. Yeah, Primetime took over as jammer. Definitely started with not Primetime on the jammer line. So I think that is what they are basically zeroing in on now. Because, yeah, I was looking around and extremely confused because there was still a pivot out there for Midway.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much what we're sorting out at the moment. There
Yeah.
may be some sort of an illegal... What do we got on the board? I had a black 33D multiplayer block, but I do have somebody parked in the penalty box for Midway. We'll check on that momentarily. Score right now, 88-32. LA puts 4 on the board during that jam while the officials talk it over. What we have is, don't forget the raffle prizes. We have given away the Siphon Draw Apothecary Organic Skincare Bag. There are still 4 prizes down there. There's a new prize. The new prize that is down there is the Rude Chicks tank top and fanny pack, also with some patches and stickers. So a Rude Chicks gift bag. So your 4 prizes remaining are the Switchblade Salon haircut, the Tucci's Touch 60-minute massage, that's a big one, the Dead Star Press tote bag, stickers, and pick-a-book, and the Rude Chicks tank top and fanny pack. 4 raffle prizes left, plus, of course, the silent auction for the Lost Dutchman $400 gift card. We're giving one of those away every day. If you didn't hear yesterday, Lost Dutchman will be given away during halftime of the last bout tonight.
It does look like Midway's jammer is in the box for whatever tomfoolery occurred at the end of that last jam, which means this is a power jam for LA, and that is Valley Hurl skating this power jam.
Yeah, Valley Hurl finds an opening along the inside. Patient, just kind of waited for an opening to materialize, and then struck once the opportunity was there, and Valley Hurl was out and clear.
Still 40 seconds left in this jam as Valley Hurl is already reapproaching the pack for their first scoring pass. Really, really nice offense from, I believe that's Bucket. Yes.
Midway's got their defenders where they can at least see each other, and they're trying to make sure to line up as best they can.
Woo.
That is blocking down the track is Nikki Badaz. I heard a whoops, sorry, so I think somebody may have gotten an inadvertent elbow. And then there's clearing the way out in the front of the pack. Excellent blocking by Bucket once again. 7 seconds left. Now the pack is going to try to play keep away, probably going to keep Valley Hurl from getting back to it, and they will. I'm hearing a that's your jammer. And
yeah,
we do.
I think this might be.
Yeah, I was going to say, LA has come out hot, 28-0 to start the half for LA, but now it's a Midway Magic Power Jam. It's the Effie Bomber on the jammer line for Midway Magic. Effie is going to try to go to the high side.
Ooh.
Midway. Oh, wow, block.
A
Effie
little
just kind of, ricocheted off somebody
hop,
there.
skip, and a flip. Whatever it was, it worked because Effie is out of the pack now. Coming around the mountain. That is the most spread out pack I have ever seen.
Yeah, Midway trying to run the accordion if they're able to.
Ooh.
Excellent block by Viv up on the high side. Olivia and Westwood knocking Effie Bomber up into the rail. So Effie is working on trying to get by all these skaters. 15 seconds left in the power jam. And finally, near the front, there's Viv again. Oblivion Westwood, another excellent block. And that's going to run all the rest of the time off the power jam clock. So
5
Effie,
points
yep,
for
Effie
Midway.
did get all 5 of those on that scoring pass, but LA keeping it to 1 scoring attempt overall.
We got Entropy and Ruffy up on the jam line. Looks like Midway's got two in the box.
I would believe that is correct.
No, just one. Just one in the box,
Yeah.
looks like.
Nope, yep, there's the hidden blocker.
Ooh, Ruffy just sort of jogging on past the pack along the lower coping.
Entropy's trying to push those blockers out of play, but the back of the pack closes up in and keeps them in play.
Ruffy back in the pack and scoring points, but the pack does not want to let that fly.
Ruffy out to finish the scoring pass. 24 seconds left on this jam. Entropy now is trying to get the star through the pack any way possible, and they do hand it forward.
To a pivot this time.
That's right. Taking over as jammer is your 3271 T-Bear for Midway. I feel like I heard that's your jammer there towards the late end of that. T-Bear lost the pivot stripe, but as I've established on previous bouts, that's not illegal.
Oh, it looks like we got a team timeout being called by Midway.
So, team timeout, Midway Magic. Midway is going to take their first second half timeout of the bout. 8:21 to go in the third quarter. LA just put 9 points on the board to broach 100 for the bout, 107-37. We'd like to thank Chill Water and Ice. Thank you so much for donating water and ice, I saw today, to us for our tournament this weekend. We greatly appreciate you helping keep all of our skaters hydrated in the Arizona heat. Feels nice in here in the warehouse today. Those swamp boxes are working good because the air is nice and dry, but it is hot, hot, hot outside. Hot and dry. You will turn into people jerky faster than you think. So hydrate well while you are out of doors and being active in this kind of weather. You would not believe how many out-of-town people have to be rescued off of our various small mountains around this city.
Oh,
Every time there's a heat wave. Every time there's a heat wave in spring training, 7 people are rescued off Camelback Mountain, things like that. We're back to it. It is an LA Power Jam once all that has been sorted out. It's going to be Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles. So we did have a penalty on one of the 2 Midway jammers in the previous jam, and Alpaca Punch is going to get out quickly, able to outrun Olive to the end of the pack.
Midway's only got their pivot and 1 blocker out there, so they're got their work cut out for them. This is a tough situation to be in. Down blockers with a power jam to stop. And that is 5 points for LA.
Olive did a good job at least to slow up Alpaca Punch and try to reduce the number of scoring passes. Olive now volunteers to get back at the back of the pack to reunite with that blocker back there to try to slow up Alpaca Punch. And that's the second scoring pass. There's 16 seconds left. Judging, estimating, it would say probably that they don't have time for a 4th scoring pass. So good defensive effort by those 2 Midway defenders that were out there to keep this from being 20. However, there goes Alpaca Punch on a 3rd one. Indeed, 15 points for Los Angeles. But Alpaca Punch also is parked in the penalty box, picking up a penalty.
My goodness, the number of Power Jam flip-flops we have had is getting a little bit ridiculous.
Yep, so it's an even pack, 3 and 3, and that's going to be Slaughter on the jammer line. No, yes, it is an even pack, 3 and 3. No,
yes,
it is
no.
not a power jam.
Oh, it's not a power jam, okay.
Not a power jam when it's all said and done. Here comes Oblivion Westwood for LA. Now there goes Alpaca Punch, and there goes Viv.
No, Viv is back down off.
All right, now we're a power jam again.
Is it a
power jam for Slaughter?
Oh, yes. Okay, all right.
All right.
We just said like 12 incorrect things in a row.
We did, but now I think we're good. Power jam for Midway. And it's definitely Slaughter, number 20.
Ooh,
Slaughter
almost through getting
just
bumped
about
at the last second there.
Was very nearly clear, but got knocked to the infield at the last second, and now the LA defense is able to reunite at the front.
Ooh, woo! Yikes, that was Egg again. Just really getting in the way.
Egg giving up the body for the block there. Ooh. Little whip action, and then the person giving the whip flung themselves off the track. Watch out for that. That was prime time. Slaughter's still trying to get out with 13 seconds left, but we're rapidly approaching the point where even if she does, it's not going to be enough time to get back around for a scoring pass. And the LA defense is going to hold strong. Slaughter does get out.
Woof.
Academically speaking, hard-fought defense during that power jam.
Yikes.
Everybody got penalties, apparently. There is a 2-2 pack out there at the moment. No, here comes a couple of LA blockers, fooling me. Yeah, there we go. No, just the Midway blockers, it looks like. Both Midway blockers apparently picked up penalties during that power jam. This is going to be Viv, Oblivion Westwood for LA, and Entropy for Midway.
Midway again with just those two, oh no, three, yeah, two blockers out there, which is making it easy for Oblivion Westwood to just shoot on past that pack right away. That was with like less than 10 seconds elapsed. That was really, really nice. Ooh. Everybody takes a little tumble.
Entropy is going to get out the front of the pack for Midway. Viv is a hungry shark, and Viv gets that jammer
goodness.
point. And then Viv says, why not? And is going to head back and try to get a couple more. Goes in point scorer first and calls it off. Five points for LA, so Viv did not get any points with that maneuver at the end there. 127-37, LA in front as we reach the later stages of the third quarter. That's going to be Bucket right here, I believe.
And that is Pandemonium Doll jamming for Midway.
First time jammer for Midway.
Ooh, Bucket finding a nice open lane there and taking it. That's yet again a less than 10-second lead break. Woo.
Pandemonium Doll got knocked off the track, trying to get through that pack as best she can, is up towards the front and gets blocked off by one of the LA blockers. Here comes Bucket with a full head of steam, racing through.
Getting a hit from that pivot at the last second, but staying up really nicely.
Yeah, just absorbed that contact and didn't really even knock Bucket offline.
Just strong.
We've got Bucket now up towards the front of the pack with just a couple of seconds left on the jam clock. And that'll do it. Pandemonium Doll still had the star at the back of the pack, having taken the star off. Looks like Pandemonium Doll, no. There's a jammer for Midway. So 14 points on that jam for Los Angeles. Los Angeles has come out hot here in the second half. She-Deviled Egg on the jammer line for Los Angeles.
Up against Entropy for Midway. And off they go. Egg trying to find that lower, getting bumped out, but getting right back at it, but gives Entropy the opportunity to pull out and pick up lead. Both jammers out, a little bit of space separating them, but definitely putting the pressure on Midway. And the pack is playing keep away. They are booking it up there.
Yeah, Entropy's trying to get up there, trying to get that 1 point at the back of the pack. Entropy gets in, calls it off. Egg has the hands up. Egg believes that she got points. Black 4, I hear from to my right. Yellow 4, also from my right. 4 points for both sides. Net gain of nada, 145-41 as we move forward. That is the Effie Bomber for Midway.
It's Ruffy and Effie out there.
Big pack. Everybody's out there, it looks like. Yep, full pack. Effie towards the back. Ruffy towards the front. Neither one really clear yet. And now here goes Ruffy. He is able to get by Nikki. And
there
then
it is.
Badass Jr. And Ruffy is out for Los Angeles.
Effie having a little bit of a tougher time in the back there. Ooh, and that is a successful pass to the pivot, but then that pivot got bumped. Oof, twice. Really nice hit by Jane Woe.
Yes, a great block by Jane Woe in the pack. Knocked the pivot, holding the star again. That's Badass Jr.
That was
Knocked
really
her
nicely done.
Squarely off the track.
That was a successful pivot pass. The pivot had the opportunity to break away, and LA got in there that last second and had two really nice hits. They just absolutely shut down that pivot's opportunity to get out of the pack. It was really, really well
Nikki
played.
Badass just unloaded a back shoulder on Ruffy, the roller slayer, that knocked Ruffy full circle backwards. Full somersault. Popped right back up on the skates. Penalty on the Midway Jammer, unfortunately. So 7 points for LA. This will be the last jam of the third quarter. Nearly certainly, because it's an LA power jam, and that's Valley Hurl on the jammer line for Los Angeles. Everybody's checking in. I hear too many black. That's one of the people that was checking in. Now that person is satisfied.
Ooh. Valley Hurl getting knocked down, but back up again in true Chumbawamba fashion.
Now here comes the back of the pack to catch up to the front of the pack as the quarter clock is going to expire. Valley Hurl still not out. Midway Magic has had success on some of the power jams this afternoon.
Aha, and there it is. Valley Hurl is now out of the pack. Still just about 25 seconds, so definitely a little bit of time to work with, but we'll see what they can do with it. LA's got a goat in the back, so that's at least a couple. Midway doing a solid job of stopping the momentum there.
And that will take us up to our final quarter break of this bout. Score from the infield. Waiting on the score from the infield.
Looks
4
like
points.
4 points for LA, bringing our score headed to this third quarter break, 156 to 41. We're going to take 5 minutes here. So go ahead, get yourself a snack. Don't forget to hydrate.
Be back in 5 minutes with the remainder of this bout. We'll be back on Twitch in like 3 minutes, it says. I'm a little behind, I think, on the stream when I'm watching in front of me. So who here in the arena is here early for the minor assaults bout? Anybody here is early for the minor assaults bout? What a treat this one has been, huh? You catch a little bit of this action before the minor assaults. We've got tons of LA fans over there, of course, I see. You got all the pom-poms. LA skates now, LA skates again later. Well, don't forget that minor assaults bout is going to start at 3 p.m. Arizona time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. in Alaska, and straight up noon in Hawaii, where when it's straight up noon, they don't leave shadows at certain points of the year. All right, we are ready to get back to the action. The countdown clock has expired.
That is Oblivion Westwood taking the jam line for LA up against Entropy. Meanwhile, 2 LA blockers in the box, so we have a 4-2 pack advantage for Midway.
Yes, so story of this bout has been that it was 70-32 at halftime, and then LA went on a rampage in that quarter and almost hung a bucket, as Michi-chan has been saying in the chat.
Ooh,
on the board.
Oh, looks like Oblivion Westwood just stole. Yeah, you lost the lead. Entropy had lead.
Out,
Oblivion Westwood stole it. Entropy tried to call it off, not realizing that they no longer had lead.
Yeah, so Viv is up to the pack and signals to call it off, running in, trying to get something up against that rail. Yeah, Entropy thought that they had called it off, but Viv had snuck by along the inside. Sneaky jammer race to start things off.
We got Sonia and Slaughter on the jam line. That was 3 points for LA on that last one, bringing the score to 160-41.
Yes, we've got Sonia now. Both jammers actually right up towards the front. Here comes Sonia along the inside. I was going to say Slaughter thought she had a path along the rail, but that got closed up quick. And Sonia Sotomayolo is your lead jammer. So now Slaughter is going to look for some purchase, trying to find an opening. We have no star for, the star has been dropped by Midway. So the jammer of record would still be number 20, Slaughter, but the star is up here in the far turn directly in front of the OPR who's pointing at it, which is good because that can get tangled up in skates.
Yeah.
So that's honestly a good thing to point out as long as the OPR is standing directly there. And it's telling skaters to stay away from it. Good. As we come in through the turn. As we said, jammer of record is still Slaughter. Slaughter's trying to crawl back towards the star and pick it up. There we are. It was dropped. 9 points for LA in that jam. Looks like we have Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles, and that is Entropy for Midway. Quickly back to the action we go.
Nobody in the penalty box, which is kind of refreshing to see.
Yeah, on a jam when they drop the star cover, that's always so risky for that to get dropped and it not to get touched by anybody incidentally. There's Alpaca Punch down to the inside for LA. Gets spun off to the infield. Now going to try it again, and the exact same thing happens.
Yeah, and
Can't
stuck
get back.
behind Quiet.
Yeah, I was going to say, couldn't get by Quiet Riot. Entropy has the star in hand at the front of the pack. "20 seconds to go in this jam. Nobody's out yet. We are still watching. And now we have Entropy is out, puts the star on and becomes lead jammer. And now here comes Entropy up to the pack, and the clock is going to expire. Boy, just in time did the clock expire. I don't think Entropy was able to get there. No points for either side. I heard that's your jammer, so somebody's about to lose a jammer. There we go. That is a penalty on the Los Angeles jammer. So we've got ourselves a Midway Power Jam with 11 minutes to go in regulation. That's going to be, is that Pandemonium Doll?
Yes.
All right.
That was very funny watching Baby V on the jam line and then go, oh, all right, well, we're just going to take the star off and then scoot up and become a blocker instead.
Pandemonium Doll able to find an opening along the outside. Small pack. Just 2 blockers for Midway, but 3 for LA. Pandemonium Doll was able to find a nice opening along the outside. Now they got to find a way to stop Los Angeles is the problem.
And good luck. Fast pack, small
Very
pack, fast pack.
We're just watching it go around. And now, look, they're able to catch us. They're able to get in there.
Real fast and real left.
And there we go. Yeah, Pandemonium Doll was able to get up there and it probably got all 5. We're going to say it looks like it's definitely now has all 5.
15 seconds left. We'll see. With this pack being as fast as it is, I'm going to guess that it's going to be tough to catch up with the amount of time left. But
probably not. No, 5 seconds. They're Midway trying to run the 2-person accordion as best they can, but it's not going to leave enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed to mention also, they added a point between quarters. That was established while we were on quarter break. I forgot to mention that when we came back. So for anybody keeping score at home, like I know there are people that are, LA actually had 5 points in the last jam of the third quarter. I forget what that made the score exactly, but in case anybody was curious about what happened, that's what happened.
All right, that is a team timeout for LA.
Los Angeles going to use their first second half timeout. 5 points for Midway on that power jam, 169-46. Los Angeles in front. Raffle tickets are currently for sale. Tickets are $1 each, 6 for $5, so buy 5, get 1 free. If you buy 20, spend $20, you get 10 tickets free. We've got 4 prizes down there you can put your tickets in the bag for. We'll be giving away more of those as we go. We already gave away today's siphon draw bag. You know there will be another siphon draw bag tomorrow. That always happens. Prizes will vary. But yeah, we're going to be giving away those raffle prizes as we go. You must be present to win, so hang on to those tickets. If you're around late, you could win one of those later prizes. That's always a possibility. The Pit Barbecue is open outside for your after-bout enjoyment. As I said, the next bout's going to start at 3 p.m. Arizona time. I guesstimate that that's going to be about half an hour, which is about what they figured it would be, I think. It's looking like it'll be maybe close to half an hour right now for the Miners bout to start at 3 p.m. We've got the pit outside. Raven Sweet Haven, of course, is down here at the peak, the peak of turn number 3. Right behind your OPR, Ravens has a big old setup. I already ate a chicken and scallion roll. I violated my no bread during tournaments rule 2 days in a row because of Ravens pastries. And I ate a chicken and scallion roll. It was amazing. My goodness. I love it's so they're so good, and the chicken and scallion was like already limited, so you may want to go down there and get some because trust me, if you like oniony things. Anyway, we're back to it. Sonia Sotomayor,
and that is Olive jamming for Midway, managing to stay up, but Sonia is out, picking up lead. Olive also towards the front, really trying to fight through. LA was forced to let Olive through. They were out of play towards the end there. So Olive now coming back around.
Yeah, Olive cruising for Midway here.
Yeah.
And there we go. That's going to bring a stoppage to the jam. Also worth mentioning between bouts, Tucci's Touch is here. Tucci's Touch is doing chair massages. They are down there giving massages on site in the Vendor Village today and tomorrow. They are between Raven, Sweet Haven, and the Coffin Draggers with their massage chair. Hand up in the air right there. That is definitely something you can go check out between bouts as well. Tucci's Touch with trigger point therapy targeting muscle loss and tension.
We got 38 and 39 jamming this jam. That's Badass Junior and Bucket. Neither one out of the pack just yet. Oh, Bucket almost out and then got bumped into the infield. Had to recycle the back, so still no lead yet.
Yep, still no lead. Now Bucket along the inside. There is able to get lead.
There we
Badass
go.
Junior up into the rail. And then finds, just kind of drifted along and got behind Hannah Barbarian and gets out. So, one scoring attempt for Bucket. Bucket is going to have hands up getting through the pack and calls it off. I see the OPR's got all sorts of zesty stuff on the board over here. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I saw a jammer penalty on the OPR board.
Which means this is going to be a Midway Power Jam.
It is. That is Entropy on the jammer line. Entropy has had a lot of success jamming for Midway here today, so that's the jammer you probably want out there. I think I heard somebody, no? Okay. Everybody's still talking. Not sure if we're going to start. We might start. There's somebody sitting down. That's a penalty. And we've started.
We're off. There it is.
All right. Entropy is still your jammer. This is still a power jam for Midway.
Ooh.
Excellent defense by Chance right there in the middle of the pack. So now Entropy is still running along behind the pack. That LA defender, again, Chance is just personal vendetta against Entropy right here. And then now Entropy is able to get Chance blocked off to the infield. Chance sporting a nice stash. I really like the stash on Chance today. I already commented on it once. I was like, that looks wonderful, I told them.
Oh, we got a star pass for Midway.
Midway jammer out. Olive You Die taking over as jammer for Midway. So Olive is going to make tracks back to the pack.
10 seconds left, so we'll see if Olive can reach the pack in time. The pack is booking it.
Yeah, there they go. Now Olive is going to catch up.
Oh,
LA did set
I
up
see.
to try to defend against it instead of playing keep away.
At least
and
a
knock
few.
Olive off. Yeah, so Olive's going to get
I
some
saw
points
hips
in that.
pass hips.
Yep. Olive got 4 points.
4 points.
4 points for her trouble in that scoring
Nicely
pass. Ducking
done.
in there, sneaky jamming. So round 50 for Midway. Half a hundo. 176 to 50 is the score right now. There's no jammers. Why, that would be pointless.
The old Power Jam switcheroo.
There we go. Yep.
So we are going from a Midway Power Jam to an LA Power Jam.
D-Cup runneth over for Los Angeles. One Midway blocker down off the track. LA has the full complement. So LA with 6:05 to go in regulation is going to try to put some points on the board here.
Oof. D-Cup headed, finding it wide open along the rail. Very nicely done. Sliding through. Coming back around the mountain, ready to start pick up some points. Not even slowing down.
Staggered out pack. That LA wall has got one of the Midway blockers pinned at the back. Now they're driving that pack forward though. Honestly, that one blocker back there doing work, pushing the pack forward and keeping those front blockers in play. And that's made all the difference on this scoring pass.
Yeah.
Much harder time by
go.
D-Cup finishing that one. Certainly burned enough time off the clock to prevent a 20 burger.
Yes, yeah. 15 seconds left. Definitely plenty of time, especially because they do have a goat in the back.
And now 6 seconds left. I said certainly, but no, it is going to be 5-3. That's going to keep D-Cup from getting back, and D-Cup makes it so from the back of the pack. So let's check it out. 15 for LA to take us into our 191 to 50. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That's going to be Nikki Badaz jamming for Midway Magic for the first time. Nikki, could it be one of the last times we see Nikki Badaz jamming in a tournament? We don't know. Who knows? Nikki's talking about it, but who knows, right? That's Valley Hurl for Los Angeles. Valley Hurl, blocked down to the inside, hit again. Nikki looking for an opening, darts to the inside. Man, was able to get by that blocker. Hannah Barbarian for Los Angeles, and Nikki's out and clear. Taking over as jammer for Los Angeles is going to be bucket number 39. He's got that star on. Nikki finishes the scoring pass for Midway. He's going to watch, and then call it off. That's 4 for Midway. It'll be about 3:30 to go in regulation, 191 to 54. Los Angeles is sniffing 200. Midway will be endeavoring to prevent that from happening, I'm sure. Entropy for Midway. And then that is Vanessa Bludgeon's Baby V for Los Angeles. There goes Entropy. Entropy for Midway is out and clear. Excellent. Good to see lead jammer there for Midway for sure. And now there goes Baby V for Los Angeles out as well. Up to the pack. Here comes Entropy for Midway. Into the pack, getting Usher to call it off, and calls it off. All right, so 1 point for Midway Magic on the back end of that. 2:30 to go in this jam. 2:30 to go in the jam. I'm just changing all the rules. Badaz Jr. at the jammer line for Midway Magic. I'm genuinely trying, I promise, Badaz Jr. It's just hard when I see that number to not just say that name. And then I've got, for LA, is... Jane Woe jamming for the first time for Los Angeles, and Jane Woe is out for Los Angeles. Look at that. So up to the back quickly is Woe. Wow, yeah. Fast up to the pack, but runs into a couple of blockers, including Badaz Jr. Now is going to get out and try to get clear. Ground into the rail. Those Midway defenders holding things up and then letting Woe get on by once they were out of play. So halfway through this jam, we've got Badaz Jr. is going to try to play some jammer defense, or at least influence it from the back of the pack. Woe stays on the track, but just lost her balance. Just lost her balance. Just got clipped by Olive, and that's going to kind of derail the offensive plans of Los Angeles slightly. Olive with another block. Nice block by Olive on the front of the pack, knocking Woe down again. 10 points, but Olive didn't make it easy on the front of the pack. That does push LA over 200 for the bout, 201 to 55. That's number 86, Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles, and that's going to be Entropy, number 1900. We got time for 2 more jams here. There will be 102 left on the clock when this jam starts, so there is going to be 2 more jams in this game. 1 blocker down for Midway as we get ready to go. Both jammers tentatively approaching the pack, and now up towards the front is Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles. Entropy gets clipped to the ground, and way out of play is that last blocker for Midway. Just a little past the 20-foot line. Just a bit outside, as Bob Euchre might say. There's Alpaca Punch now for Los Angeles. And Alpaca Punch now along the inside, past that 1 blocker. As we said, there is time for another jam, so this will not be the last jam of regulation. Grabbing a whip is Slaughter trying to take over. Slaughter has the star, so Slaughter is the jammer and taking over as jammer. Alpaca Punch, however, in the meantime, finishes off a second scoring pass. 13 seconds left on the clock, and Alpaca Punch coming around for another. Slaughter with the star, trying to play defense at the back of the pack. Alpaca Punch, easy times that time getting through the pack, and the clock expires. Regulation clock expires also. As I said, we do have one more jam remaining. One more jam. One more jam. That's right. On the jammer line, big 15 points for Los Angeles. 216-55. I hear a directional block. Again, this is the last jam of regulation. Oblivion Westwood for Los Angeles and Badass Jr. for Midway. Underway we go, and Viv for LA gets out quickly and emphatically to the front of the pack. Badass Jr. for Midway now is near the front, trying to outrun, and Viv calls it off in the front straightaway with a little fancy skate work heading down. Bender B. Rodriguez signaling for the teams to stay off the track. No points for either side. Your score right now, 216-55. Let's see if that remains the final score. See if there's any penalty jams. Obviously, Oblivion Westwood looking to call that one off quickly so that neither side has penalties, which would preclude a penalty jam. I haven't heard anything. Remember, in Bank Track Derby, the team that's ahead has to skate clean, and the team that's behind has to get a penalty. I saw the signal from the head ref. We got penalty jam action. All right. We're back to the action. We are ready for a penalty jam, and it is going to be Ruffy the Roller Slayer for Los Angeles and Badass Jr. for Midway Magic. All right. Let's see how many penalty jams we can stack one on top of one another. Why not? The record was 4 that we're aware of at Roller Rage a couple of years ago. Trans Agenda scored like 55 points across 4 penalty jams and almost won a game, being down like 75 at the end of regulation. It was absolutely bananas. And now shaking clear of the pack and quickly calling it off, trying to get out of this without any penalties again, is Ruffy the Roller Slayer. So we check again. Waiting again on the penalties. Let's see. No points for either side once again. Again, Midway would have to have no penalties, and LA would have to get a penalty for there to be another penalty jam. Everybody's discussing at length, and that's going to do it. Here comes head referee Yazzle Dazzle to make it official. He said expectantly. Ah. All right. We have a final whistle. Looks like we got a skater down in the corner, so I'm going to get off the horn after I've officially announced that 216-55 is your final score, and LA has officially won. We will update you as we can here momentarily once we know what is going on down in the corner. Thank you. All right, there we are with the applause. The skater back to the bench. Now, let's make it official with the rollouts. The whistle has blown, but your champions of this bout and moving to 1-1 of the tournament, the Los Angeles Derby Dolls, 216 to 55. Los Angeles for the roll around. Los Angeles came out. That was a dominant third quarter from Los Angeles. They put nearly 90 points on the board in the third quarter and really put this one away therein. And here comes Midway, an excellent effort by Midway, game throughout. Midway Magic coming around as well. And there's Midway coming around. And that's going to do it for Midway coming through as well. All right, we will clear out. The next bout, as I said, will be in 35 minutes. The next bout starts at 3 p.m. Arizona time. Well, actually, we're off Twitch right now, so 3 p.m. is when the next bout starts. I don't have to tell you what time zones everything else is in. Everybody's here. Minors bout starts in 35 minutes. We'll see you in a bit. Hey, Derby fans in the arena, don't forget, let me give you a rundown of what you got that you can do between bouts, during halftime, things like that. Here's what we've got for you in the arena today. Tucci's Touch chair massages. Get down to Tucci's Touch's chair and sign up for chair massages. Trigger point therapy. If you haven't experienced it, you need to. Food options. The Pit Barbecue is outside and open for business. I'm going to go try some meat products. Raven Sweet Haven is here with all sorts of sweet and savory goods right here next to Tucci. And the Arizona Derby Dames snack bar is open with smaller format snacks, drinks, things like that. We've got the merch booths for the Coffin Draggers right here next to Tucci. The Brutal Beauties merch booth is down in Vendor Village, along with Green Irish Moon, Red Hot Print Shop, and the Lost Dutchman Flash Tattoos. All of that is down in the Vendor Village. Ray a Riot Flash Tattoos right here along the back straightaway. So a lot of things, Tucci's Touch, Ray a Riot Tattoo, Lost Dutchman Tattoo, all things you can sign up for a time for and then drop down and do that during the bout. And then outside, Dead Star Press has the bookmobile open for business as well. Bunch of things to do here inside during the tournament and outside.